Thank you for turning to page 121. Today I'm going to go do a little tutorial on how to play the Battletech collectible card game. And to do that, I'm first going to define some of the cards. So the first type of cards that I cared about when I started learning this were the support cards. These are the ones that give you resources. So here I have a support assembly. It costs 0 to build. It has 4 armor and 3 structure. I'll explain that in a bit. And if I tap it, I get 1 resource. And it says here under its power, assembly, once you have repair reload phase, you may pay 1 resource to repair 1 point to one of your damaged units. That's pretty nice. So that way some of your units will take some damage, and you can go ahead and you can get that back. Now I'm going to have several assemblies in this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 in here. And you're going to say, hey, wait a minute. Then I can fix 5 points on 5 different mechs or 5 points on 1 mech. No. The way any of these support cards work, if you have 1, it's the same as having 20. You can only do the power once. So in this case, I would only be able to establish or to heal 1 mech, no matter how many of this type of card I have. And they're all true. All the support cards are like that. Next, we come to tactics. Again, 0 cost, 4 armor, 3 defense. You get 1 resource, and you get a base initiative of 1. Initiative is very important in this game because initiative determines who lays out cards first, and most importantly, who fixes damage where first. Because there are ways, once you've given me my damage on X mech, I can play a card that says that mech takes no damage, your damage is wasted. So initiative is very, very important. So tactics again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. That does not give me 5 points of tactics, it gives me 1 point of tactic. There are other ways to get points in tactics. Munitions. 0, 4, 3, we know that. You get a resource for it, and if you have munitions in play, you may roll a 3 on a missile roll. That missile volley deals 3 damage. So when you do missiles, you throw a 6-sider. On a 1, they do 1 damage. On a 2, they do 2 damage. With munitions out, on a 3, they do 3 damage. A 4, 5, and 6 does no damage. Without munitions out, I only do damage on 1 and a 2. So really important if you've got some missiles in your deck. Munitions is also good for other things, and we'll get to that when we talk about mechs. Next we go to logistics. And if you have logistics in play, you may restock a card from your hand at the end of the turn. This can become really important at any point in the game, but really late game, because your lifeblood is your number of cards in your deck. So this gives you an opportunity, if you have the logistics ability, you could take one of your cards and put it on the very bottom of your deck. It's a way to keep yourself in the game a little longer. It can be very, very important. And then this deck, I don't have a politics, that's the 5th type of resource. I went ahead with this, which is an outreach mercenary training. It's a command resource card for the inner sphere. I get 1 resource if I tap it, and tactics. And if I have tactics in play, I do get +1 initiative. So if I have a tactics card plus this, my initiative is now 2. That's really good. And of course it gives me politics also. So I have 1 of those. I have Comstar support, which are also command resource cards. Paying 1 point for it. It has 3 armor, 3 defense. When Comstar support comes into play, choose an asset. Comstar support provides that asset. So it's a good way to bring out it in every card. If I haven't drawn any assemblies up to that point, I can pay a point for this guy and say, okay, he represents assembly. And I have 1, 2 of those guys. And all this is for mechs. I want my battle mechs to come out, and I want them to beat up my enemy, because the object of this game is for me to attack your stockpile, your draw pile, do as much damage to it as I can, to a point that you are out of cards. Once you're out of cards, I've won the game, you've lost the game. It's that simple. So here we have a mech. This particular mech is a Tempest. It costs 6 to build. And then we have the mass here, 65 tons, main armament, Gauss rifle, and large laser. That's just for flavor. That doesn't really do anything. It's a mech inner sphere, and it works for House Merrick. And also Alpha Strike, +1 attack. And Alpha Strike is when the mech blows all its guns at once. But when that happens, he's not only tapped, but he is depleted. You turn the card like this and can be attacked by a lot of other things on the table. It can be a very, very bad situation. You don't really want that. But I have a way around that in this deck. Otherwise, he is a slow mech. He has jump, which can give him +1 initiative, which can help with things called mission cards. He has 2 armor, 8 structure, and does 5 damage. So it's pretty solid mech all the way around. Another mech is the Bandersnatch. He costs 5 to build, and you see the 3L and the 2M. If I don't have either one of those assets out, I have to pay those costs. So if I don't have logistics out, I have to pay 5 plus 3, 8 to get this guy on the board. That's why it's important to have a nice spread of the resource cards. This also is an Inner Sphere mech. It has a missile. It can Alpha Strike +2, 2 defense, 7 structure, 4 on its attack, and then it is slow. So I'm talking about Alpha Strikes, and how can that be a good thing in a game? Well, if you know the mech is going to die, you can go ahead and just do the Alpha Strike. But you do have pilots in this game, and the pilot for an Alpha Strike mech, in my opinion, the best pilot you can put in, is a sharpshooter. They cost 1 and then 2, but you waive that if you have tactics. They are pilot. Using Alpha Strike does not deplete the mech piloted by sharpshooter. Whenever that mech uses Alpha Strike, it gets +2 attack. So if I have him in here, well, let's use this guy as a better example. I have him in here, he does 5, and then he can use his Alpha Strike, which is 6, and +2 on top of that. This mech alone with this pilot would do 8 damage. That's pretty powerful. So that's why you take some powers like that. I'll get to these 2 cards in a moment. Continuing through, we have an Atlas. I always love the Atlas. 7 to build it, 1 more if you don't have logistics. It's a 100-tonner. It's slow. It has Missile 1 and Alpha Strike 2. So if I put that sharpshooter pilot in here, this guy will do 2 plus her 2 plus 3, 7 with a missile. And he has 3 armor and 11 structures. He's a big boy. And that's really how this deck goes. It's primarily set up to give Alpha Strikes, although I did have a couple of mechs that just did jump because I needed something else for that. Victor is actually one of my favorite mechs. I like the Victor a lot. It's only 4 points to build, 4 resources, and then 3 more if you don't have the assembly. It is a slow mech. It has Alpha Strike +2 jump, which is -1 attack but +1 initiative, 2 armor, 7 structure, and then 3 is its base. So with the sharpshooter, it would be 3 plus 2 for the Alpha Strike is 5, plus 2 for the sharpshooter is 7. 7 is a very important number because to destroy one of these resources, it has 4 structure and 3 body. I need to do 7 points. So it's important to get your mechs up around that level. Okay, I have 26 mechs in this deck. Usually 24-ish is good. And then the rest of the deck, I have some pilots. This is the Chaos March Veteran. This is just a good little pilot. Costs nothing to build. 3 if you don't have tactics. Pilot gives +1 initiative and +1 attack. Mech pilot by Chaos March Veteran gets an additional +2 attack. Use this ability only during battle. So it's +2 plus the one there is 3 plus whatever the mech's base is. So if it's 4, again I get that magical 7. And pilots are pretty nice too because you can move them around between mechs. So if you have a mech that's very damaged, you can move your pilot to a healthy one because if the mech gets scrapped, your pilot gets scrapped with it. So there's the rest of my sharpshooters. I have a total of 6 in this deck. And then we come down to mission cards. Mission cards are things that can be played during your missions phase. Some say during a battle, some say just during the mission phase. And what these are cards that let you change the circumstances a little bit of the mission. So this mission is House Merrick and its Inner Sphere. Play only when attacking. Untap each blocking mech that is not guarding. Those mechs neither deal nor receive damage. If no blocking mechs remain, deal damage to the target as if unblocked. That's a really good card. If my opponent has 3 mechs, but I've got 5, so he wants to put them on patrol against what I attack, and that'll become clearer once I do a demo of how you play. If he does that, and they're all on patrol, I can play Blitzkrieg here, and I can run my mechs right past his blocker and directly attack whatever I want, usually a stockpile. And then I have the mission card Overrun. Play only 1 blocked. If all blocking mechs are scrapped during this battle, untap each attacking mech at the end of the battle. You've done so well, you overran your opponent, you hold the possession completely, and you get to untap, which means once a mech taps, he's out of play till next turn. But once you untap, you can use the mech as if it had not done anything this turn. So it's pretty nice. That's a quick look at most of the types of cards. There are many, many variants on this, of course. There's stuff to build up your mech, ferro fibers, armor, navigation computers, stuff like that. But this is just a basic look at this, and then what I'm going to do is set up a board in my next video, and then you can take a look at the board and you can go, oh, okay, that's how the board sets up, and then I'll run through a couple of mock turns. So that's all I've got today on page 121. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more Battletech CCG and Battletech as a whole, I've really been in a Battletech mood lately, and I want to play. I'm actually going to try to talk my guys into not only playing, but maybe let me record it. We've already discussed that. They said they're fine with it. So I'll probably be doing a live action Battletech sometime in the next couple of weeks. But right now, Battletech cards. In the next video, I'll show the layout, and if that video ends up being real short, I might do a little bit of actual play. But that's all I've got today on page 121. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Still trying to grow the channel. Also, if you can help me keep the channel on through the Patreon, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.